Alright guys, welcome to the video today. So this has kind of been on my mind for the past few weeks. It's not that I've tried to, avoid making a video about it or that it was a bad idea. It just hasn't really been high on my priority list. And then it kind of, after taking a second look at the new artifacts coming in Rise of Iron, I kind of thought that having a discussion video would be kind of a cool thing to have on the channel and kind of a cool discussion to make within the comment section. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the 8 new artifacts being introduced within Rise of Iron, kind of briefly, and then talking about how they're going to affect PvP as a whole. And then obviously with the introduction of private matches comes official game battle support. And because tournaments are going to be released by several different hosts, there's going to be different rule sets. So we don't exactly know if bans are going to be universal, across all tournaments, kind of be a standard, I guess. But I'm kind of just going to be talking about which ones I think are going to be banned or should be banned when it comes to competitive. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. Very quickly going over all the artifacts in case maybe you don't know exactly what they are or what they do. You have the first one, which is Memory of Felons. So you lose your super, but you gain 1 extra charge to your nade and your melee with a small boost to all stats. And then in this situation, because you don't have a super, Orbs of Light are going to grant you melee and grenade energy. And then the next one is Memory of Jolder, which pretty much completely gets rid of sprint cooldown. And then the third one is Memory of Perun. So enemy guardians with full supers and that are weak are going to be highlighted on your screen. So there's going to be a little red or yellow highlight over them, so you know if they either have their super or if they're weak. And then we have Memory of Galeon. I think I'm pronouncing that correct, and it gives you a detailed radar. So I'm assuming this is the same thing you would get when you run Keen Scout on Night Stalker. And then you basically get third eye on all of your weapons. So it says radar persists when sighting with primary weapons. So it's not going to apply to heavy and secondary, but as far as all primary weapons, it's basically going to grant you third eye on whatever weapon you have equipped at the time. And then we have Memory of Timur, which makes it so melee attacks on minor minions of the darkness have the chance to temporarily turn the target against its allies. So basically it's going to turn your enemies within PvP temporarily on your side, which it doesn't really apply to me because I pretty much only play PvP, but it still sounds kind of cool and might tie into the raid with some sort of raid mechanic. I'm not quite sure. The next one is Memory of Scory, and basically when your super is full, nearby allies supers charge a lot faster than they usually would. So if you hold your super for a really long time, I know that when I play Gunslinger I do this a lot, basically anyone around you is going to start charging their super a lot faster. And then next we have Memory of Silumar, which makes it so in PvP you have a resistance to damage over time attacks. So the main reason I think they put this in is so that people have no excuse to complain about Thorn whatsoever. Even though the burn on Thorn really doesn't do anything now, I feel like the community still is going to have issues and gripes with it. So I think this is a cool thing. Obviously it's not going to do much because Thorn is not the greatest already. It's going to be a little bit annoying because I don't think you're going to be able to headshot, body shot, which obviously is a big part of Thorn because pretty much any other hand cannon can do that, which is kind of annoying, but I kind of understand why they put it in there at the same time. And then finally we have Memory of Radagast, and it basically makes it so you have the ability to reflect energy-based projectiles when guarding with a sword. So I assume it doesn't say deflect, it says reflect. So I'm assuming if someone shoots a rocket at you, then you're going to be able to shoot that rocket right back at them. So that sounds pretty cool. I don't have a sword yet. Like I said, I'm not into the whole PvE thing, so all this stuff sounds new to me. It sounds cool. I can't wait to try it. And I don't know, it just seems like a cool kind of transition or a cool kind of change to the game, which obviously there's going to be issues, which I'll talk about later in the video. But as far as like just core changes, I think it's pretty cool. Moving on to sort of the PvP discussion, obviously there's going to be a few that are filtered out. The main two are Memory of Timur and Memory of Radagast. Those are both mainly PvE applied, and when it comes to, especially in tournament play, you're not really going to see the usage of heavy, so that's kind of why I ruled out Memory of Radagast. The only one that I'm kind of iffy on is Memory of Perun. It basically says enemy guardians with full supers and with low health are going to be highlighted. Currently, I don't think it's going to help you as much, and if you want to know if someone has their supercharged, if you get killed by them, if you go to the little box that displays their level, if it's blinking yellow, that means they have their supercharged. So I think we kind of already have that sort of advantage. Obviously, you're going to get it to a next level with the artifact, but as far as it, you only have one choice, right, for an artifact. So as far as it competing with others, I don't really think it's as good. Going over what I think to be the best is Memory of Silumar, Memory of Scory, Memory of Galeon, Memory of Jolder. and Memory of Felwinter. The main two I think that are going to be the best is going to be Memory of Felwinter and Memory of Jolder. People have had like a lot of issues with sprint cooldown in Destiny, and obviously there's going to be issues outside of the game. You can't control, obviously within like the game's code or whatever, you know, if your controller starts freezing up or is kind of broken and you get sprint locked all the time, that's going to be an issue that you'd have to solve with your controller itself. But as far as Memory of Felwinter, I feel like if you're running double wombo combo with or previously maybe post or pre-nerf Sunsinger, if you had double nade and double melee, it's gonna get ridiculous. And right now, double Axion, double wombo combo, all that stuff is going to be ridiculous. And I don't know if they're going to somehow, if there's somehow going to be like an extra catch to this, or somehow they're going to balance it. But I feel like there's so many subclasses out there that are strictly ability based, and with something like with a Night Stalker, I'd much rather have a double wombo combo than my bow, because bows, you know, it's a decent super, but all in all, if you can run double wombo combo, that's the best trade-off. So I feel like with Memory of Felwinter, if you can have a subclass that mainly relies on grenade and melee and those sort of abilities compared to its super, that's where you're going to see this artifact strive. I think with shotguns, pretty much any shotgun player is also going to prefer Memory of Jolder because it gets rid of sprint lock. And unless you're using an old controller, this is going to be really nice. It's going to solve a lot of issues where you see it a lot, like when you watch people stream where they're just about to sprint at someone with a shotgun and then their character just completely freezes. And that kind of also has to tie in with agility, because a lot of people used to run agility before because it would help with not getting sprint locked or to have sprint limitations. But I feel like now you're going to be able to run max armor, max recovery along with this artifact. So that's going to be a combo to watch out for, obviously. I think a general Memory of Silumar is kind of just like the excuse for Bungie to put in there, where, you know, you're not going to be able to complain about Thorn or Firebolts in any capacity anymore. Obviously they've both been balanced to the point where I feel like other subclasses are a lot better than Sunsinger, obviously, and that a lot more weapons such as Ice Luna are better than Thorn. But as far as things I think are going to get banned in competitive, as far as like private matches, game battles, all that sort of thing, I don't think we're going to see Memory of Silumar to keep Thorn relevant. I don't think we're going to see Memory of Felwinter, because obviously if you're running double wombo combo, double Axions, it's going to get a little bit hectic. I feel like the only one that we're going to end up being able to see, of course, Memory of Galleon is good because you get a detailed radar, and then radar persists when you have your weapon out, so you basically get third eye with Keen Scout, besides like the agility boost, obviously. I feel like the only one we're really going to see is Memory of Jolder, maybe Memory of Galleon, I'm not quite sure. But definitely Memory of Jolder I think is going to be the one like for sure thing that is not going to be banned in competitive. As far as like viable options, I would recommend running Memory of Jolder, Memory of Felwinter, and Memory of Galleon. Those are kind of my favorite three. Memory of Scory might be good if you're a player who kind of holds on to their super a lot, or maybe if you want to be more of a team player and you're running Night Stalker and you don't really think you're ever going to use your bow, and except for maybe in a round trials or whatever where it goes to the zone and it goes to the time limit, then you might use it. But if you're not going to use it, and you know, maybe you're playing with Stormcallers or whatever, and you can help charge up their super faster, then obviously that's going to be a big asset to the team. But that's kind of my thoughts. That's the discussion on it. If you have any thoughts, feel free to leave them in the comment section, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Peace.